Yes! Era Vulgaris by Queens of the Stone Age is the greatest album of all time. It is the greatest record in the history of rock and roll music, and I'll debate anyone on that, including me, in the last video, the last podcast. This is the Rock Show with Connor Farrell. Whether you're a longtime rocker looking to see what Gen Z thinks about rocker, you're a new Gen Z rocker, little TikTok kitten, whatever the heck you will, and you just want to know what's up with rock music. What do I think? Where do I start? What albums do I listen to? This is the best album of all time, and it's also the weirdest, funkiest thing. Look at this album. Look at this record. Look at the beautiful art. See if the camera will focus for the video listeners. This, here we go. Wait. Focus. 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 Let's see if it'll focus. It refuses to focus. But for your information, this is the greatest visually speaking record cover of all of them. This is the best one. Queens of the Stone Age is one of the greatest rock bands of all time due to sheer awesomeness and undeniability of how much they rock. They rock so hard that they somehow have, apparently no hit songs. They have no songs that are conventional hits, to my ear. There's a couple that, you can debate them, but this isn't a band with an Are You Mine? They've got No One Knows, Go With The Flow, Little Sister, some of that stuff. There's songs that are much more accessible that they have and get radio play and got radio play over the last, 20 years while I was growing up. But they really are just a band through sheer brutality of how awesome they are. They just, oh my God. They just make the best records. This is the best records band. This is the best band for someone who's a musician. This is not a band to get you into rock. This is a band to make you fall in love with rock. And particularly, I have a soft spot for Era Vulgaris and Lullabies to Paralyze. I know Songs for the Deaf is the classic, and I know, like Clockwork, is the most hipster, critic approved, but God damn it, is 3s and 7s. I'm listening to the album right now. Right, with my AirPods in. I'm listening to Turning on the Screw. Do you know how brilliant this song is? It's amazing, and it starts the record, and the lyrics just get better. I'm designer of some of the best lyrics of all time. Turning on the Screw is amazing. 666. It's just, are you kidding me? 666. The camera won't stay in focus. It doesn't know how to stay in focus. Look, I'm in focus. I'm out of focus. I'm in focus. I'm out of focus. What are we doing? We're going to mess with the light. We're going to mess with the light. Oh, I turned the brightness up. Let's help. Camera. See where I'm at? Okay? Stop flipping around with me. We're talking about 666. We're talking about Misfit Love. We're talking about Bad Dirty Acid. We're talking about Make It With You. That's what's up with you. God, you might think this guy is acting like he's on speed or something. I'm not. But apparently Josh Homme may have been on speed when making this record. No shame, no judgment. But it is so horny and filthy and stanky and groovy and intense and hard rocking and good. It just puts, a Jack Sparrow smile onto my face as I dip into the salty seas of stanky, sticky, yellow and pink rock and roll. That's how I feel about this record. I feel about this album. It's beautiful. It's the definition of an acquired taste. This record is for only your cheekiest of cunts. It is so good. It's only a band such as Queens of the Stone Age could make such an incredible new sounding record after record, to the point where what is the best Queens of the Stone Age album becomes almost an impossible statement, but also it becomes entirely irrelevant, because compared to any efforts that came out, by most other rock bands since then, this record goes pound for pound and beats pretty much every band, kicks their fucking ass, and it's so fucking good. I'm staring at the album cover. I can't stop staring at it. It's just, 666. This is a perfect album to work out to. This album, the one before, and I know Songs for the Deaf, it's supposed to be good. It's supposed to be good. It is good. This is for me. Look at how I'm dressed. I look like Fred from Scooby-Doo, but a little bit psychotic. a little bit, a little bit angry, a little bit angsty, a little bit horny, a little bit ready to go. There's a little bit of an edge to you. There's a little bit of an edge to you, Connor. There's a little bit of an edge. Oh. I don't like that. That's intimidating. You don't look goth. You don't look whatever. Do whatever the fuck you want. That's what this record tells you. Do whatever you want. Do what you like. You know, be wearing a suit jacket. Look like Scooby-Doo colors. Have fun. Do whatever the fuck you like. Okay? Don't worry what the other people think. They're like, Connor, look, you're looking insane right now. You're looking at the camera. You're yelling. Have you showered? Why's your hair like that? Well, I showered last night. Well, we'll see what's happening right now. Okay, see? Why do you have the pimples on your face, huh? What are you, 21? What are you, 21? What? You're making sure you get your 30 grams of fat. JK, I'm doing more like 60 grams of fat a day. I'm losing weight right now. TikTok kittens, I'm losing weight now. Boomers, longtime rockers, big fat cockers, whatever you guys like to call yourselves. That's all good with you. But 666 is amazing because it comes down, it comes up, it has these sounds that sound like weird distorted synths. It's the perfect rock. It's like the devil's version of new wave. It's the devil's new wave. It's incredible. It's so good. It's so good that it makes me forget for just a moment how bad the rest of rock music is as of late. And it's so fucking good that even when Julian Casablanca comes on, like, it's just incredible. If you don't know, Julian Casablancas is the singer of The Strokes. And he comes on and does backup vocals starting out the second or third chorus of 666. But I mean, telling you, put this on your workout playlist. This album is beautiful. Buy a physical copy of it. It's so pretty. I want to do nasty, filthy, dirty things to this little album. And if you watch Queen's Live 2007, let me pull up the video. On YouTube, go look at this band live. Go look at this. Is it Retro Festival or is it might be Hull or Belfast again? Belfort, not Belfast. That would be Ireland. Which one of these? One of these records or one of these? No, I'm looking for the one at nighttime. It might be Belfort. Oh. My generation's for sale. Needs a steady job. How much have you got? My generation don't trust no one. Not hard to blame. Not even ourselves. Listen to this line. The only real for us is fortune and fame. All the rest seems like work. It's just like diamonds in shit. And that's where the hit of the song, it starts. It's so good. I mean, I'm just going to read it because hopefully we're already demonetized. But I'm high class. I'm a whore. Actually, both. Basically, I'm a professional. We've all got our own style of baggage. Why hump it yourself? You've made me an offer that I can refuse. 'Cause either way I get screwed. Counter proposal, I go home and jerk off. Come on. And then it's truly a lie. I counterfeit myself. I counterfeit myself. It's truly a lie. I counterfeit myself. You do not own, times 4, times 5. You do not own what none can buy. Oh, there we go. No. You do not own, well, and guess what? Neither do I. See, that's very interesting. And it's just this idea of a sellout, push your silver spoon in your ass, no more holding us down, down dog, down mutt, nice mutt. Just the idea of a generation that grew up in the 90s being rowdy with punk and nu metal, and then you've got a chaotic band like Queens of the Stone Age comes out with some of these incredible fucking records. And just that generation, like, how do they react? This is, Fight Club, right? These kind of movies, there's this real visceral angst that I don't know what happened in 2010, but something got fucked and everyone got subdued. The Arctic Monkeys became solidified as softies. So did Cage the Elephant. The Strokes as well. Much of these bands just went soft. Because before then, in the early 2000s, they're like this. Not all, and not everyone, but there's much more of a rambunctious little mischievous little thing, a little anarchic strain, a little bit of chaos and spontaneous order, as one might put it. You know? Never again will I repeat myself. Enough is never enough. Never again will I repeat myself. That is one of my favorite lines. It's casually in there. Never again will I repeat myself. Enough is never enough. And then immediately right after, never again will I repeat myself. It's just, and he's talking about now it's have sex with a man after he buys your .com for sale at a low, low price. It's truly a lie. I counter much fit myself. Yeah, I guess this idea of like, and even back then, you're like, I put on a fake version of myself. I go to work. I think now people have an outlet with the internet where they can go to work and put on a fake version of themselves. They come back home and they can be just as freaky as they want. And freaky in the sense that you can be true, raw, and not a counterfeit. You know, warts and all, as one might put it. And this record is warts and all. And it's such an acquired taste because of that. But once you get it, you reach into an echelon of elite human. Not many people reach the echelon of era Vulgaris stan. But once you become a stan, you become an unwavering, devoted fan to era Vulgaris. Your life truly transforms. You turn into a 40-foot tall animal creature and you ascend. See, this light on my face right now for the video listeners. Oh, look at that. Getting a little crispy. Getting a little bit of suntan going here. Let's see if we get... This is technically, I forget, but there's a light behind me that adds lighting. I got my rip-off Chris Williamson. That's another funny thing. You know, that guy's like a male model, or used to be. Yeah, it's just kind of funny. And he'd be like, I don't get why people are saying that, you know, guys have trouble getting laid these days. You're like, dude, you're a male model. And like, I get it too. Like when I was gigging all the time, I was getting laid all the time. And that's because, you know, I'm like, okay, you got a rock band and you're the lead singer and lead guitarist guy. You're jacked and in good shape. You're funny. And you know how to shut up and, you know, actually how to, like, you know, not ruin things when you're on a date. But no, for me to be like, yeah, dude, it's easy. Just have, like, you know, the best band, you know, in your town and just be rocking and kicking ass. And the babes just fly to you. What, you don't play guitar and have a band on the side? Oh, what? You're also not in good shape and charming and handsome and intelligent? You're like, oh yeah, sorry, no. Yeah, it's just funny. You know, yeah, which they say privilege is invisible to those who have it, which isn't true. You know, you can pretty easily see. You're like, oh yeah, I'm pretty gifted. Like my parents paid for me to go to school. They saved up ever since I was, you know, before they had kids. They discussed our kids need to go to school, so we're gonna save up and put them through school, and they did that. And I'm eternally grateful. They've always been there, and if anything, you could say maybe they did too much. But see, I'm listening into the hollow, and that's why I'm getting sentimental here, and I'm being nice, and I'm not being crazy and rambunctious as I was. But give it a couple seconds, I'll get crazy again, because in a minute we're going to be into Misfit Love, and god damn it, is that song good. I love this album. This album is like the worst album when you try and listen to it the first time, and the best album once you come to your senses. It's so crazy how a band could be this good and not fuck up. Queens of the Stone Age are the reason I'm disappointed with Arctic Monkeys and Cage the Elephant and the Strokes. They're the exact reason. Because what I mean to say is, when the Strokes made their fourth album, Angles, right? It didn't have to be, have a bunch of hits. Like Queens of Stone Age, Era Vulgaris does not have a bunch of hits on it. It doesn't have a bunch of singles that are going to get played on the radio all the time. It has 3s and 7s, but that's pretty much it. But it's a really, really, really good rock record. It brings the intensity. It has the great songwriting. It knows when to take, long-winded, breaths and when to punch. It knows when to kick into high gear, when to coast. It knows when to come off and on. This is like a fucking Tarantino movie of a record. Like, it's just so good. But it talks about the Royale with cheese, and it does the whole... this record's like Pulp Fiction. Era Vulgaris by Queens of Stone Age is like Pulp Fiction by Quentin Tarantino. It's simultaneously extremely overrated and criminally underrated at the same time. And it's brilliant, and it's good, and it starts with a bang. And then in the middle, it just goes on all these little journeys, from Christopher Walken with a fucking watch in his ass during World War II, up to and including a gimp in the basement, and prior to that, Uma Thurman dancing like a retard on a table and overdosing on heroin, and John Travolta, for some reason, being infatuated with Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman, not my type. Not saying that other people don't find her flattering or enticing, but she's just not my type. And so I'm watching this, I go, I kind of tune out a little bit, but it's fucking Era Vulgaris, it's fucking Pulp Fiction, I'm in there. And so I know the more I watch this movie, the better it's going to get. Because it's fucking Quentin Tarantino, goddammit. It's John Travolta, it's Sam Jackson, it's Bruce Willis, it's Uma Thurman. It's all of the people. It's what's his name? Was it Tim Roth? Who the fuck is that? Tim Roth, Pulp Fiction. Tim Roth. Told you, his name's Pumpkin. Tim Roth plays Abomination in the original Hulk movie. Not the original, but the Incredible Hulk, the 2008 one. Transform Me. So right now, I'm in Misfit Love. This is the Uma Thurman dancing on a table at the beginning. Once you really get into it. Let's see. It's so good. Oh, because then the thing is, Misfit Love, it gets in its whole Pulp Fiction, and it's in the middle there. It's running around, but you know it's gonna hit. You know it's gonna hit. When it's chaotic and fun, and what the hell's happening? I'm flying water everywhere. I'm shaking my bottle. What the flip? Gosh and heck, my darn it. No, but it is Queens of the Stone Age. Why you give these other bands a hard time? Because though Queens of the Stone Age, I personally like Era Vulgaris and Lullabies to Paralyze as their best records. That's because those records are incredible, not because they started making bad records. They continued to make incredible records. These just happen to be the ones that I resonate with the most with, and I keep coming back to. But I still love Like Clockwork. It's incredible. And same with Villains. I know the mixing is kind of like weird, kind of flat, but also like, it's unique. And then in Times New Roman, they're just, it doesn't resonate as much with me. It feels a little more sullen and a little bit less angry, horny. And and mischievous and sprightly. Like a little whimsy. I'm a little gnome. This feels like, more like gnome music. Like you're Mad Men, but on meth. You're Don Draper, you're walking into your ad agency, it's the 50s, it's the 60s, but you're on meth. And you're like, you don't care, and it's like crazy. And it's all going, you're seeing colors where there's letters, and you're just going for it. And you're in a haze, it's just sliding together, reality's crashing into itself. And you're just running back and forth, wall to wall, wall to wall, wall to wall, wall to wall to wall. And you're just trying to figure out which way's out. And the misfit love, as you're in this fucking stew, it goes into battery acid. And you click battery acid. In just the beginning of the song, as obscene and tantric as you expect, I want to skip ahead to the lyric. The pre-chorus, I guess this is. Maybe it's the bridge. Let me see. Every masochist gets a turn. Sadistic twist. You'll never learn. Let's pull up the meaning for Vulgaris. Vulgaris. It is so good. We're going to go with... we're going to look for the Pitchfork review. The sex yes, 6.2. Wow. Wow. Holy cow. Wow. So, no doubt in my mind, this and Lullabies are the best Queen's records in my book. They're 11 or 12 out of 10s. The rest are like 10 or 9 or 8, depending on how it goes. But wow. You had the audacity to give this 12 out of 10 record a 6.2. I see why Pitchfork went under now. Oh my god. This is so... This album is so twistedly good. The guy who did the work for this, the company with these fucking light bulbs, Bulby. Exactly. They had Fred Flintstone buying Camel cigarettes, talking about this idea of having an icon, an image. So they made one, Bulby, to sell the record. And he's drinking fucking, beer and shit. Rental advisory. Instead of parental advisory, it says rental advisory. Freedom not for purchase. God. It's just so good. Even the B-sides are incredible. Let's just read the fucking CD was accompanied by a handwritten letter asking fans to share their song in any possible way. Hello, friend. Thank you for accepting this gift. Included you will find the Will to Dance and Saw in the song Air Vulgaris. It was pulled from the new album of the same name, so that it could be to you and become an example of how we think from now on should be. As in, we do for you, you do for us. So to start this relationship off, we have done for you. Now we ask this in return. Share with this friend you think we. Share this with friends you think you and us would enjoy. Upload it and spray it like the time-released graffiti sick on the websites of places it does not belong. Is it a new recipe of Rachel Ray's site? Is it a new Nickelback song on their board? A secret government document? Video game cheats? Sex site password? Fucking whatever, you decide. Tell us how you shoved this song into the guts of the internet, and we both can smile wide with pride in our new relationship. Oh, but not until after midnight tonight. From now till then is just for us. Can we trust you to wait? Relationships are built on trust and joy. Dr. Insider in Queens of the Stone Age. So I like this idea. So what was this? In early April, the band's website, yada yada yada. So people won a contest and got this with Era Vulgaris, the track. The song Era Vulgaris is pretty good. I can see why it's a B-side. I like it, but it's not as iconic as some of the other songs on the record. But yeah. God. The fact that, let's see. This is funny. Hmm. Just an interesting record overall. Common Era. The title was chosen by Hami because he thought it sounded like the Vulgar Era, which I like because that sounds like something I would like to be a part of. I mean, I think we're in it, and I'm stoked. Yeah. Rental advisory. This record does feel vulgar in all the best ways. Alternative rock, desert rock, garage rock, hard rock. This is a true, like, you know, advocate for the idea that metal doesn't just mean better, more edgy rock. Metal is really something different because this record is edgier, more kind of harsh rock. Like it's really stanky and dark, but also seductive. But it's definitely not metal, right? It doesn't sound like a Metallica record or, you know, it's got a different stink to it. Just dumbfounded. Oh shit, it's already been 27 minutes? Okay, at least let me get to threes and sevens. Oh yeah, this song is a brilliant masterpiece. I mean, let's look at Air Vulgaris. Just the title song. That's an interesting story. Air Vulgaris, the title song, was not released in the album, but given to select winners. Oh, I remember why this is so good now. So apparently, fucking hell, god damn it. This is so good. Okay, look up Air Vulgaris, the song. That, it's on Spotify now. Holy shit, it's so fucking good. And this is my favorite record. And then Queens kind of takes a different turn and takes a break until they do the next record like clockwork. They take, 6 years until they get back in the saddle. But in the meantime, this record is so good. Oh, here we go. Oh my god. Just the fills. This is... God damn it, Queens of the Stone Age are incredible. I know you might think, Connor, you're rambling like a ramble person who might ramble. And that's true, I may be rambling. But next we're about to get to Like Clockwork, the record that really shows that there's a false dichotomy between the idea that you're accessible and that you still rock, right? So a band like KG Alpha might say, well, if we want to be accessible, we can't be a rock band like we were originally. We have to go super soft and not rock anymore. But Like Clockwork from Queens of the Stone Age proves that you can still be a rock band and give something for commercial audiences and give something for critics, and you can still rock the entire time. You never have to sacrifice being an incredible rock band for, broader success. It's not one or the other. It's all degrees of freedom, as you would say when you're doing statistical analysis, right? But I'm more using it for the word degrees, right? Because it's more of a vulgaris, less than a ailment to be rid of. Vulgaris. What is it? A dichotomy to be balanced rather than more. It's more like a spectrum. Well, there are concerns to be balanced, and there's different spots on the spectrum, right, where you could attack things, rather than a problem to eliminate, right? It's one or the other. It's where in the continuum on different things. Like Era Vulgaris, the song rocks really hard, but they clearly did not give it a very commercial song structure. They could have took Era Vulgaris, the song, and gave it a more conventional rather than a less conventional, more prog, progressive rock type structure. And I think, you've changed some things. We don't have to compromise the fact that it rocks and that it has like squealing, wailing guitars and just intense vocals and intense, compositional elements and tones. I think a brilliant example of this is Nueve Inch Nails. 9-Inch Nails, Trans Reznor. He perfectly demonstrates that you can have brutal, intense sounds and not need to just be dog shit if you want to be accessible. So listen to this fucking record. Tell me what you think in the comments. Am I wrong? Never. Never am I wrong. But just in case you would like to be pummeled in the comments, you may insist that this is in fact not the greatest record. Go watch whatever this is. I think it's Belfort, 2007, Queens of the Stone Age live at Belfort, 2007. Go watch that. Go listen to this record in full. And then go click on the link to the next review, which is Like Clockwork. Also, if you didn't like this album and you're like, I wish there was something more accessible, Like Clockwork is probably more up your angle. It's a little more indie, a little more artsy, a little more palatable to soft little TikTok kitten ears. I think that's the Era Vulgaris is a record that no one's gonna like, in the sense that the critics clearly didn't like it. The boomers probably won't like it, and the longtime rockers. It's too foreign. It feels like from an alternative universe. And the TikTok kittens will be off-put. The people who really get into that record are really going to like it. If you like that record and you get around the rougher edges, I would recommend Witchfinder General, their first record, and Lullabies to Paralyze. I would recommend those two little bits of music for you. But if you want something a little more indie, come and join me on my review, my podcast of Like Clockwork. I'll see you there in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you there? You're there. See you there. Rock on.